And the way not to get bored is to take it as a journey inside. And if you fall asleep, you fall asleep. I have fallen asleep through classes, and that could be something that may happen, and that's what you need to do. But what I'm going to do today, we're going to work on the connection between the feet and the pelvis, and up the back. So you want to. The one thing that I would say in terms of like paying attention to right and wrong, you have to have your feet and your knees aligned. So the knees shouldn't fall in or shouldn't fall out. That there is a symmetry between the right side and the left side of the body. And if it's not, then you pay attention that it's not, and then we're going to work from there. I'm going to be doing it with you, talking. So it's not about seeing what I'm doing, it's about hearing and translating it into what you understand. It's your journey. And we'll see where it goes. So go ahead and lie down. And we'll take a minute to just allow the body to find its place on the floor. So hopefully your legs are lengthened, so you can feel where your heels are touching the floor, and where your calf muscles touch the floor or the mat. And is there a difference between the right side and the left side? And the same thing with the pelvis. Can you feel you sitting, the sacrum, the bone in the middle? Are you tilting to one side or the other? Which part of your back is touching the mat? How far is your right shoulder from your left shoulder and the left shoulder from the floor? Is there more tension in one shoulder than the other? How far are your elbows from your ribs? Are your hands on your body or alongside on the floor? Which hand is on top if they're on top of one another? Can you see the picture of yourself? And how whole is that picture in your brain? And we're actually going to be working more with how we perceive things rather than doing big movements. And that will make the difference. It's about the learning. It's not about the doing. So just for a minute, go back into your pelvis and sense which, maybe one hip is wider than the other. Maybe one muscles are tighter than the other side. Maybe one hip is higher towards the rib than the other. And with that, go ahead and just move your toes up and down. Not much, just move the toes up and down. And see if that changes the position of the pelvis on the floor. As you move your toes up and down, is there a sliding movement of the pelvis on the ground? And see if you can find it. Some of us will have a harder time and we just move the ankles. And some of us will be able to climb up. And if you're sitting on the floor, on a chair, lift your toes up and down and see if your pelvis wants to rock somewhat. and let it go. And again, just have a picture of the whole body laying on the floor and compare it to the way it was a few minutes ago. Maybe there's a change, maybe there isn't. And now bring only the right toes up. And then when you bring it down, bring the left toes up. So one time the right toes will come up towards your body. So you're flexing your foot, and then the left. And does that help to create the sliding movement of the pelvis up and down along the mat? One leg at a time, one foot at a time. There. There, yeah, now it's starting to move. Yeah. I'm going to move your leg slightly, okay? Okay. And see if you can find a rhythm. Maybe you can put your fingers on top of the front of your hip and feel how those bones are now moving up and down. When the toes are coming up towards your body, the bone comes up, and when the other toes come up, the other side of that hip goes up. And let it go and rest. And let go the whole body. Don't do anything and just observe. Take a minute for the work that you have done to kind of integrate. And now we'll do the opposite. We're going to take the toes away from the body. One time the right side, and then the left side. So for sitting on the chair, you're going to lift your heel for that. You're going to lift the heel. One heel up, and then the other heel up. Right. You'll feel it more if your hip was closer to the edge of the chair. Like really close to the edge of the chair, if it's safe enough for you. So work slowly, and now you're pointing the toes down on one foot, and then you're pointing the toes down on the other foot. It has nothing to, it goes through the knee, all the way to the hip. This is something that you can do in bed. It's a nice way to wake up and kind of wake up the body. Go ahead and lean your back on the chair, so you have a little bit more like you're laying down, and then see if you get that movement in the hip. It's really hard on the chair. Okay, and let it all go. And again, observe the width of your hip, how much of it is touching the mat. And now I want you to imagine that there is a string attached to your toe, big toe, and a string attached to your knee. And as a marionette, somebody is pulling on that string from the side and dragging your knee, your knee is bent. Your knee is bent, and you're dragging the foot on the floor, and then you let it go. Boom. Just one leg. Just one leg. Choose a leg, doesn't matter. So there is a string attached to your knee and a string attached to your big toe, and you start dragging. You're finding that space where the leg can be dragged upwards towards your shoulder, and then you let it go. The foot never leaves the floor. We're not doing exercise. Go all the way down. Don't go more than maybe 3 inches. Find the dragging. No more than 3 inches. That was at least 11 inches. Don't go beyond the ankle of the other leg. Just find the bending of the knee and what happens in the hip and the joint, the opening. Think small, lengthen your legs, all of you, lengthen your legs, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. Think about just starting the movement. Think about somebody attaching that's it, and let go. Let go, let go. It's about finding the origin. Can I try hands on you? Mm-hmm. Okay. Lie down. Don't do anything. Drag. Let go. Drag. Let go. All your life you're thinking about doing. Mm-hmm. We're like letting that go for right now. You can always go to it, and with that knowing, that can be a better movement for the reaching and going and the climbing. There, and then just find how much of the turning the knee, how is it moving inside the hip? One leg at a time. Or just one leg we're doing. We're just finding that one leg. And go ahead to the other leg if you didn't do it. So if you're on a chair, and you lengthen that leg, and you're bending the knee and you drag, and you're lengthening the leg. And if you're on a chair, you can really feel also the rotation maybe of the whole body, how the shoulder is responding. So if your leg is straight when you're sitting on the chair, as you're bending and the hip starts going back, the shoulder will go back a little bit. There's immediately a whole body movement where we are on the floor not getting it yet. We're not there yet. But see, okay, Mina? You're dragging like this, so that's like an exercise. See if you can, think about the string and you're passive, like somebody is pulling the string towards your shoulder. You have a string and you're the puppet, you're not doing anything. and then the other leg. And let it all go and rest. And we're going to do one leg, pull the string, let go, and the other. So now we're going to go from side to side, rocking the pelvis from side to side. So if you're on a chair, you really need to be at the edge of the chair and the legs straight, and you hold on to the sides of the chair to make sure that you stay on the chair. And if you're on the floor, you start rocking from side to side, finding the rhythm. The one bends and the other one lengthens. But stay away from achieving and going to the edge. It's just about finding the rhythm internally. Go ahead, do it. And see if you can also pull the knees a little bit, like those strings. Hmm? No, imaginary, like this.
Okay.
Like this. Like this. Do half of that. Do half of that.
Do less?
Half, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now do half the speed. Now breathe. Now do half the speed. Find it right inside the core. So I don't want you to, I don't want you, I'm suggesting for you to move from the very center of your being. Slow down, you're running. Where are you running to? Spread your legs. Spread your legs. One string, the other string. One string, the other string. One string, the other string. Slow down. Breathe. Breathe. And slow down even more. No, that just doesn't know. This leg is the one that's giving me trouble.
Yeah, yes. So it's like always gives me
There, enough. That's enough. No, that's enough. Don't go further than that. And then the other side. When this one comes down, the other one comes up. And when this one comes up, the other one comes down. And you're starting a seesaw. Yeah. Now we're starting to, and let it go. So find your belly button on yourself. You have a belly button? And 3 fingers underneath the belly button. And this is more or less our center of gravity, which is really high. So we're not meant for stability, we're meant for falling, walking and falling instead, and catching ourselves from falling, right? This is kind of 3 fingers underneath the belly button. This is where the origin of that rocking. Okay. So let's kind of roll to the side and into standing position. If you're up for standing for a minute. I'm asking you to please stand up if you're up for it. And stand shoulder width apart or hip width apart. And again, find the belly button. And go 3 fingers underneath. And now the string will go kind of down, will pull you down. So we're not going, just find it first. It's that going down and going down by bending the knees. So it's, I'm not reaching anywhere, I'm not going anywhere, I'm just finding that transition from within and that tilt and the rotation of the pelvis. Does it start to make sense? I'm taking it from the top down, from the bottom up, and standing for you to feel that. There you go. So now go to your best leg and stay on it. And still feel that place. And come back. And now just bend your knee and stand on that leg. Do you feel the difference? Coming from dropping through the center and allowing the whole body to have even the slightest different alignment to be on that leg rather than just bending the leg. Gives you a lot of more pressure on the knee when you're just bending, right? But if you just rotate the slightest bit, now you have the weight distributed. And that's what we did on the floor. And try the other side. What are you doing with your shoulders? Remember that place. There you go. You let go. Can you feel it?
Mm-hmm.
Movement is not, we don't need an armor to move through life. Some of us feel like we do. Sometimes I do. I mean, when I get into the doctor's office, I'm all, yes, I'm ready for you. But yeah, I mean, if we just want to be standing on one leg, why do I need to do this? There's no need for me, right? I can just take my body with me and be there. So then this leg can just go if need to. All right, so let's go back down to the ground. And we're going to drag that one leg, and now we're going to allow the leg to drag as high as you can feel a place in your hip joint where there is an opening for the knee to make a turn and face up towards the ceiling, and for the foot to be standing on the mat. And then let it go. Again, you're going to drag from the knee a string and from the toes a string that will lead you up to a place where you can turn the leg in the hip joint so the knee is facing up towards the ceiling and the foot is standing on the ground. And then let it go. And then let it go. Let it go, let it go. Drop it. Good. Yeah, like you don't need it. And then do it with the other leg. With the other leg. The other leg. String. until there is an opening in the hip. Where is that opening? Am I listening or am I just turning because she said so? Where is that opening? Same leg that you've done, Lois. The other leg. And then you let it go. Boom, you don't need it. And now we're going to try to do one, and when that one comes down, the other one comes up. When one comes down, the other one comes up. How much movement do you need to just be able to do what I suggest for you to do? And can you find the middle of the way where the two trains meet, when the leg goes down and the leg comes up? Can it be in harmony? So the two legs meet in the center of the way, and when one is full length, the other one is standing. Take your time and find it. Where there's no beginning and there's no end. It's like the infinity symbol. Is your hip turning from side to side, or you're just giving me an exercise with your legs? If you're doing an exercise with your legs, you're going to be sorry tonight. You're going to feel it. If you're allowing the pelvis to rock, like we have been building now for the last 20 minutes, you're going to feel joy and comfort. You can do half the way. You can do it way slower. And let it go. Rest, completely rest. How much of the hip is on the floor? How much of your back is on the floor? How much of yourself can you see in your mind's eye? Are there any more details than you had in the beginning? And go ahead and come up on your elbows so you can see me, or you can see yourself. And we're going to do the same thing over again. One bends and the other one lengthens. And one bends. So we're on our elbows and we're looking at our legs and we're finding a rhythm, an amount of movement. It might be tiny little bit. It might be barely bending. Can you get up on your elbows and look forward? Can you get on the elbows? So we're going to do tiny. We're going to do when this one bends, this one lengthens, when this one lengthens, this one bends. Tiny. 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 See if your hip is moving from side to side, if your hip is doing that. And if it's not, invite it to. See if your ribs are going up and down. Your neck is getting to be tired. If If your neck is tired, I'm allowing you to go down and keep that with your inner looking inside yourself rather than seeing it from the outside. Okay, and stop. Go ahead and sit up for a minute, and I want to show you something. It's usually not what I do, but I wanted you to see. Look at my pelvis and my legs. That's one. This is the other one. Maybe think about riding a bike. Can you see that everything is moving together with the legs? Try to find it, because I think it's going to feel really delicious. From side to side, not just up and down. But you have to slow down and make smaller. Because it's about finding it in the origin. It's not about doing out there. The doing out there comes after you know where it is. Oh, what a difference. Beautiful. Yeah, all right, and let it go and rest. So now, after you rest for a minute, we're going to drag one leg and bring it up to standing, and drag the other leg and bring it up to standing. So now we're like sitting on a chair, but we're on the floor with the feet on the floor and the hip is on the floor. And press one foot into the floor and let go. And press the other foot into the floor and let go. Press one foot into the floor and let go. And press the other foot into the floor and let go. And keep on going from side to side. And as you press the feet into the floor, see if your pelvis on that side is responding by leaving the ground up towards the ceiling rather than up towards your ribs. One leg at a time. One leg, come back, stay. Other leg, down and stay. Another leg, down and stay. One leg, into the floor. Not out, but down to the floor. It would lift your pelvis off the floor and bring it back down. And pressing into the floor, and it brings that other hip up. Oh, that side is harder, and down. And press. Right there. Maybe bring the feet a little closer to the hip. Like that. Yeah. Pressing the sliding up. See if you can press down. And the hip comes up, press down, there. and then press down, and press the foot down and the hip is up, and press the foot down and the hip is up to receive. So it's the same thing that we've done with the string, but now we're doing it with pushing into the floor with weight. So sitting on the edge of the chair, I'm pressing the foot and the hip is coming off the floor, off the chair, and I'm pressing down and the hip is coming off the chair. So it's another suggestion for the people who are sitting on the chair is to press down and the hip comes up, and press down and the hip comes up. So I'm not sliding the feet on the ground, I'm going into the ground. I'm pressing down into the ground. And I'm pressing down into the ground. Pressing down into the ground. The heels stay on the floor the whole time. So it's the hip that's moving to make room because of the pushing into the floor. And let it go. And lengthen your legs, or no, or you can rest also in this position, up to you. And bring your legs back up if you lengthen them by dragging one and then dragging the other one. And press both feet into the floor and allow the pelvis to roll all the way until your belly button is sinking down towards your vertebrae. And letting go of the pressing of the feet into the ground, and the pelvis comes back to neutral. Press both feet into the floor and allow the weight to shift up towards your belly button. The tail is now hanging up in the air, and let go the pressure of the feet, and the pelvis is coming back to neutral. Good, this is good alignment. It feels good, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good alignment. And as you're going up and down from the belly button to the tailbone, see if how do you see your pelvises? Are they equal on both sides? And if you're sitting on the chair, you can lean back, you press the feet into the floor, and there is a rolling. I would lean back and press the feet into the floor and feel like the tailbone is coming up and down. And press and down. So there's a movement of the pelvis that responds to the pushing of the weight into the floor. And rest in the center. Maybe bring your knees together and rest here for a second, or two, or three. Take a minute to breathe and to kind of feel what's going on. And open the knees again to the alignment. And press only one foot. Allow this hip to come off the floor and see if you can roll the weight into the other side of the hip and feel the ribs on the other side touching the ground, and maybe climb all the way up towards the shoulder when the shoulder is pressing now into the floor. And let go the pressure on the foot and come back to laying completely on your back. The same foot, let's do this again. We'll do 5 times on that foot. Press that foot into the floor, allow the hip to come off the floor, roll the weight without moving the knees, roll the weight to the other side of the hip, climb up to your ribs, and maybe all the way to the shoulder, maybe not. We're all in different places. And let go the pressure on the foot and roll back to center. And again, press the foot into the floor, let the hip come up, and roll into the other side, into the ribs, and all the way maybe up to the shoulder that can lay down on the ground. And then the 4th time, press the foot into the floor, lift the hip off the floor, roll to the other side, find the ribs rolling, and maybe the shoulder is relaxing, maybe your hand even rolling with the palm upwards, and then come back. And the 5th time, the foot is pressing into the ground. You find your stability, your hip is coming off the ground, the weight is rolling to the opposite side, and you're rolling over your ribs, and your hand is maybe turning, palms up. Maybe your head is turning to that side, and then you come back, and you let go. Lengthen your legs. And rest. And just in your mind's eye now, imagine that your other leg is bending. Imagine that you're pushing the weight into the ground. Imagine that that hip is coming off the floor. See yourself shifting the weight into the ribs on the opposite side and climbing up to that shoulder on the other side. And let go. One more time, just imaginary. Pressing that other foot into the ground, lifting the hip, transferring the weight, rolling to the ribs, rolling the arm, shoulder goes all the way down to the floor, maybe even the head is starting to turn, and then letting go. And now go ahead and drag one leg and drag the other leg, and we're going to do that side 5 times. Press the foot into the floor, allow the hip to climb up, allow the weight to roll towards the ribs and up towards the shoulder. Maybe the hand is turning, maybe the head is turning, maybe not, and rolling back into the center and letting go. And number 2, press the foot into the floor, which that lets the pelvis come off the floor, shifting the weight to the opposite side and up towards the ribs and the shoulder and the head, and maybe the arm is turning, and your whole body is doing the movement. And coming back to relaxing. And then number 3, Pressing the foot into the floor, lifting the hip, moving to the other side, into the ribs. Arm is rolling, head is rolling, shoulder is down, and coming back into the center. And number 4, press the foot into the floor, lift the pelvis, roll to the side, and find the ease in that spiraling up the body, all the way from the foot into the opposite shoulder. And going back down. And in the last one, I want you to have in your mind's eye that you're making dinner for Thanksgiving and you have to reach all the way up over the other shoulder into the closet, so up above you. So you're pressing that foot and you're doing the same movement and you're spiraling up so that you can actually reach all the way to that side. To pick up that beautiful dish, to bring it back into the center. Amazing. And lengthen your legs. Lengthen your legs all the way down. Just lie down. Imagine the eyes hanging from the ceiling down, watching your body in the way that it's laying on the mat. How much of your pelvis is on the floor? How much weight do you have on your heels right now? How far are your shoulders from the ground? And when you're ready, we're going to roll to the side and we're going to get up and we're going to walk a little bit and feel how it is. How do you feel in walking? So take your time to roll to the side and get up